last week on Flightwin TV.
Bodies don't count after like 30 annual, because when motherfuckers was trying to get married and all that, they don't, that stuff goes out the window sometimes. I've seen some ratchets get married.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
I've seen some crazy shit.
Do you believe that we truly went to outer space? That's the first question.
His first question. Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. I mean, if you believe that whole, you know what I'm saying, psyop, then this conversation don't need to go no further. But if
you know, it's funny though how they would show you events like this, and you can watch snowfall and, you know, events like that, and you would see all this fucking like higher government intervention or you know, any you know what I mean, any type shit like that, and people will still call people today conspiracy theorists when you think certain black movements wasn't fucking infiltrated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't think black movements now are infiltrated or just totally fabricated?
I see a damn post about somebody talking about Bill and Melinda Gates, and
that's because who you follow, nigga. That's but
that's your cookies.
But the national, the national conception is like, oh, he's saving us.
Daniel, this is the second time he's been in this position to where a black person has turned on him. Remember Queen and Slim? Don't forget about that shit.
Yeah.
So
Yo,
I thought that
actor,
was. Yeah, but I thought that was telling. I was like, dang, he signed on for that again. Like,
I said Mark Cuban as well, for the simple fact that Bama started from. I mean, he got one of those success stories as well, where he started from nothing. What he started from, like being a bartender, dropping out of school, and everything like that. So, like that success story is probably one of those.
Say 2 years, right? And you serious? Like you thinking about making the next step, and you find out you got like a 55 body count. Who change your mentality?
all 55 of them niggas, then I guess.
But what if you do two? Out of 50, you could probably know like two.
Right, because we live in right now society is like everybody got like this get the bag type mentality, like, you know, do what you gotta do to get the bag, like get the money, whatever. So if we live in a society that celebrate that, then how come at, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, like how can we call somebody, be mad at somebody and say it's like one end is worship the money, one end is have integrity. It's like where's that middle ground? You know what I'm saying? I feel like we be trying to serve two masters. Like you can only choose one.
Whoa, hey, we live. It's
yes, sir.
Yes, episode 45. Back in its prime.
We deep too.
Podcast. It's me, Remy Please, P and HD, Concourse P, Corey Mo, Keys, Hey Al, P Shack, PS5, and Lighthouse. What it do, fellas? It ain't been 7 us in a good old minute. How y'all feeling?
Sir. The Magnificent Seven, huh? I can dig it.
Ready to
What's up, guys?
What's up,
Let's
y'all?
do this. Let's do it.
Kicking on to another good show.
Yeah, so I don't know, like, where y'all just want to jump right into it. Let's jump right into it.
Let's jump.
Yeah, I'm not even going to, you know, ease in there.
Hey, but real quick before we jump into it, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and follow us on all platforms. And then,
this is being streamed on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
Today, yeah. So keeping close contact. Like, subscribe, hit us in the comments, hit us on Instagram. We got some shit shaking up. We're going to let y'all know later in the episode. But let's jump into it. How do y'all feel about ultimatums in relationships? Damn, Marcus.
Ultimatums.
How y'all feel about ultimatums in relationships? Have you ever been hit with one? Have y'all seen somebody affected by ultimatum? Do y'all think it's practical in relationships? Do you think it's needed? You think it's
Well,
come on, man?
personally, I ain't never seen it. The only time I seen it is in the movie. I just see it on the movie type shit. I ain't been given an ultimatum. I ain't never seen nobody ever been given an ultimatum. I can't really go into it.
Nah, I feel like ultimatums happen because it's like when you're open to a compromise, that's kind of when the ultimatum shit happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, you might make a deal with your wife. You can't go to a strip club after we've been married for however long. That's like or I'm gonna leave you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
ultimatum like that.
yeah. That's ultimatum has to have like a this or. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I
It's
mean.
either you or
Where
me
you have
type
to
shit.
choose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
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 You're forced to choose. That's what I'm saying. That's never fair. But it happens all the time.
That shit.
Sometimes you don't even realize it though.
I don't know. That shit sound like extortion for real.
No. Oh.
Like
I mean,
by definition, that's extortion.
if that's what you if that's what your relationship is built off of, that's you're already on around.
But it's not even
Yeah, you on the
it's
wrong
not even
path.
what it's built off of. Like that's like how some people hold you accountable for shit that you do too.
And I
Yeah,
understand that.
it could
Yeah.
you could put it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, depending on like relationship. That's what I'm saying. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
I mean, but you
Uh,
don't think it's an example of like control, like somebody trying to control you? You know what I'm saying? You
yeah, I mean control, quote unquote, but then you're supposed to be building trust within that control. So it's like that's what I mean. It's a
it's
So
kind
has
of
any
like
of y'all had an
do as I
ultimatum?
desire or I do not. You know what I'm saying? I can't be with you, so it's like move to my. You know what I'm saying? Move to my direction. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. It could be, and that's why I said sometimes it's almost like a decision to make a compromise, be some shit like that, ultimatum.
But has
Yeah.
anybody had one?
Oh,
I've never
ultimatum.
had one.
Nah,
See, it's only for the movies, man. It's for the
Nah, nah.
what's for the people who be out of pocket, man? The people who
Nah.
be out of
Nah,
pocket.
that
But
shit happens,
Nah,
bro. That
nah.
shit
I've
definitely
I've
happens.
I've heard of ultimatums. I've heard of ultimatums, and I've actually I've we've know people that have ultimatums. So
Right.
you
So
you'd be surprised.
my thing is, I don't know. I think that it's hard to have an ultimatum with somebody that's your boyfriend or girlfriend, because like we in fucking DMV, like you ain't gonna hold me to something, like you know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna tell me this or that, and then I got like 10 more options. Like,
Oh shit!
fuck you thinking?
go ahead now.
Excuse the hell out of me.
Like I'm talking about my single life, of course, but
Yeah,
like, how you gonna give me an ultimatum and it's like, it's too many options for that shit. Now, if we talk about like, engaged and married, then that's even difficult. That's even more sensitive because I don't think you should be giving your partner an ultimatum when you're married. Like, it should
Right.
be like, hey, I feel this type of way about something. Let's work it out. But my ultimatum, that's a red flag for me. I'm like,
Yeah,
nah.
and I feel like you're right. I feel like sometimes the ultimatum shit is like for the more toxic of a relationship, or like
Yeah,
maybe you just started talking to somebody and they trying to you trying to prove yourself to somebody, and that's the way you got to do it or break through whatever. Uh, so yeah, I wasn't even speaking to the term of like years in a relationship, marriage type, because I don't think that happens. Just like you said, you have an understanding of that other person, so you can
Mhm.
or you should be able to talk it out or come to a compromise or like a decision, agreement.
I feel like I've seen ultimatums, but I've also seen the ability to strongly suggest certain things. in terms of like one person saying they needed a kid right then and there, and then other person not necessarily ready for that moment. So it's not necessarily a quote unquote a true ultimatum, but at the same time, it is like
It's a deal breaker.
I don't know if it's you already married, you already in a situation,
Right.
So I don't know, but I mean, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. To keep it, yeah. I personally, I think that shit is like extortion. Like people
That's
not
what
gonna
I'm
do
saying.
when you have no option, then yeah, it's extortion. Like that's like you either gonna do something that you want to do or you're not. You're
Right.
not gonna have somebody's not gonna hold you to the fire and be like, you know,
Exactly.
move when I move,
Right.
say what I
Right.
say, or I'm
Or
gone.
else.
But at the same time, when like if you want something done and they not moving, you know, to your speed, then you got to let them know in a civilized way. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just like say it's me or this. Then you wouldn't
I mean,
like that. You wouldn't
how
like
many
that
times?
in any other situation. You wouldn't like that in any
Exactly,
other
because how many
situation.
times
Yeah.
do we hear, even like on TV, where a female may say, "Oh, I'm trying to be married in the next 5 years. If you don't put a ring on it, then I'm gone." Or you know what I'm saying? Like that's like an ultimatum. But like I think also that's a lack in trust because
Right.
obviously, if we're in a relationship, I wouldn't do anything that
Right.
you know what I'm saying, that would jeopardize a relationship or anything that you may not want to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
So
at
that
the end of the day, why are you in the relationship? You're not in a relationship
exactly.
just because like you
Exactly.
it has to be moving somewhere. It's either moving upwards or it's moving downward. And if it's moving downward, I'm gonna let you know. Or I'm gonna be
And
out.
that's what I was touching on. Like that's kind of a red flag in this. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get an ultimatum and it's like this or I'm done, then it that's something that you gotta think about. Like if that's somebody who you want to be with anyway.
Right.
Because if it's like that, then it's like it's saying that you ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like that, whatever that topic is, it can't be no middle ground. You know what I'm saying? It's no compromise. It's
If
like
you don't stop smoking, or I can't be
exactly.
with you type show. You can't stop drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck?
Then we done.
Well, I don't know. Well, if you put it like that, then I don't know. Like if they risking their health or they got a if it's a destructive trait, some shit like that.
But it's still an ultimatum, though.
But maybe maybe
still an
sometimes you do
ultimatum,
need a
though.
kick in the ass though. Sometimes you need somebody close by to tell you fucking up.
Yeah, I can understand with that.
Like I could see what you're saying, Rez. Like if it was like, hey, if you do this excessively, then you know I can't take it no more. Then I'm done. I can see that. But for her to change your whole lifestyle, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's levels to it. All right.
If it happens once, it's gonna happen again.
Yo, so you saying like,
hey, repeat offender. Good job, Phil. That's true shit. Because like if it's happening at the beginning, you know, who's to say that won't happen like during the duration? Like that's unhappiness. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I always preach, I always suggest for women and men to heal after your relationships. We don't have to jump into the next thing.
Don't jump into another one.
Yeah, let's get it together first. Let's get it together. We want to present ourselves to the next one in the best shape.
Dr. Phil right here.
I love good.
Right, Dr. Phil.
That's all I'm saying. Let's get back to that.
I hear you, Phil. I hear you, bro.
Back to the basics. Yeah, man. That's I don't know. I mean, I it could be. I just don't like the word ultimatum.
And ultimatums come in multiple forms too. So it might not be the do this or I'm out. It might be the I don't know exactly the term, but it can come in a different form.
Like you talking about like do this or no sex or something like that? Or
something.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Well, that's extortion too.
That's a bad one too.
Like nigga, if you don't do what I say, you don't get this. That's the way she's telling you.
Listen, y'all going to jail. Y'all extorting people out here. Y'all going to jail.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. It's funny though, but even sometimes we even hear people say shit like, "Oh, I can't date somebody who my parents don't like." You know what I'm saying? Like even that is a form. You know what I'm saying? Well, is that or is that more of a standard? Like Or
Uh,
do y'all think that's even an issue in relationships in general? Like if the your in-laws or your girlfriend's parents or vice versa, that if they don't like you, does that actually matter? Is that a major problem in a relationship?
Yeah, I think it's a big deal. That's a big deal.
It's
But what's the degree of don't like? Because I think that matters too. The degree of
it's all
don't like.
hard, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question too. So it's all about the degree of stress they present. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Cause like cause some parents do have that I don't want to like that hold over their
yeah,
child to
you're
where
influence.
absolutely
like
right. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah
Influence.
Yep.
yeah to where everything is. So I do feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that's like more like a female thing though?
Yeah, I think that is.
Nah, I almost don't say that. I would. The only
Mm-hmm.
reason why I wouldn't say that is because there's a lot of mama's boys, and
True.
you know, I think that they're influenced by their mom more than they are their father. You know, when it comes to making the right choice with a woman too.
True.
I've seen dudes that
But
are engaged and they end it because the mom don't like the girl.
but the thing
Ooh.
with the mama's boys is that the moms be like forcing themselves in on the relationships. Because I've
Yeah,
seen this shit before.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see that. I see that too. Hey,
I
and
have to.
we can't speak on it, but if there's any like Nigerian or Haitian watchers, let us know what you're thinking. But I know that they're ingrained in who you choose. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like a blessing and an approval for you to get married to somebody they like. So I think they're even more intense than we are as opposed to in our communities. And so just speaking on that, I have a couple Haitian friends, and it's like strong, like
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
kind of that's kind of
that's
weird because
cultural.
like if I don't have a daughter, but if I did, I would like I would want you like out of my fucking house. Like I would want you to get married. Like so like I wouldn't block at all. Like I would want you, you know what I mean, get the fuck out, do your thing, get married, settle down, give me some grandkids, all that shit. Like do
mhm.
all that shit. But yeah, beefing with your partner's parents, man, like that shit, yeah, that can be a big
It can't
drag
be
because
healthy, yo.
yeah, you already
Nah,
got the day to day, struggle with,
Right.
your partner, and then you bring
right.
in somebody else in, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, I think it really becomes an issue when the parents are directly beefing with you, and you don't say anything as my partner. Like
Mm,
you're never there to like
defend, yeah,
intervene. You just let them rock how they rock because you just so used to them rocking how they rock. Like
Right.
Yeah. That's
growing
some
up,
real shit.
yeah,
Right.
you just used to them being
saying what they want to say.
yeah, toxic,
Right.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
exactly. I've seen this
Just
before.
because they got a past of like not a past, but a past of being your parent, your guardian, somebody that brought you up at a certain time. You gotta grow up and you're adult yourself. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
you gotta
agree with that
you
1,000%.
as if that's your man or that's your woman, you gotta stand in between. Be like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, this not gonna fly, XYZ and give you a reason why because whatever. But
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's when it's a problem.
The thin line of disrespect.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
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 and
for
I
sure.
think the biggest thing on that is like you gotta have a mind of your own. Like
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
already were raised by your parents. They gave you all the good nuggets that you needed to be who you are today.
Mhm.
And at that point, if you love the person, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's crazy because I know that there's a segment of the population that is easily influenced. And if you think about an influence of what your parents have, that's even more. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if you're influenced by the average person, just think of about how much you're influenced by your
Right.
parents.
And that
So
starts early too.
Right.
exactly. So
Starts early.
that's a tough one to break. So if you with somebody that's like that's all 100% about you, and then as soon as they get around their parents, it's like I'm standing back.
Switch
Right.
Like
up.
yeah, then that ain't good. That ain't healthy. It's like you fighting two battles at the same fucking time.
Right.
More
And
than
you
that
outnumbered.
sometimes too.
You are outnumbered.
And
Yeah,
what
Oh
can
hell
Cause,
yeah.
I
cause,
think a lot of the
cause
main. Oh, go ahead, Phil. You got it. You got
No, you got it first. You got it first.
well, I think the for real, because I think most people when they going into a relationship and they dealing with the other, their girlfriend's parents or whatever, most people gonna have good intentions. Like most dudes ain't going to go out their way to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when it becoming issues between the beefing and it's the parents, like what I'm saying, most of the fucking time, you know what I'm saying? Honestly it's the level of respect because a lot of times a parent is always going to look at their child as their child, so they're not going to understand like this is an adult. You know what I'm saying? So they going to deal with it. They almost like it's like kind of like that not knocking on the door before they walk in type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like they forgetting that you a grown ass. It's like that type of shit. It's like
right.
You say it's like that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's usually the issue is because a lot of parents don't be respecting their child's boundaries to keep it all the way real, and then they get involved in the fucking relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when it becomes issues.
Yeah, I agree.
I definitely agree with you on that. What I was even going to speak to was when it acts like that from the parents, it trickles down to the other siblings in the family too. So you get disrespect all around. And even speaking of what you said, that whole having to be a standard and your parents always butting in. You feel like that's generational? I feel like that's like a generational thing. Like they were brought up like that. Their parents before them did that. You know what I mean? Always trying to check, be in your bit, like
most definitely.
See, I
project their authority.
I don't think it's just generational. I think it's just they're older and they think they're wiser, and you know what I'm saying. They want to.
No. When I say generational, I say
What you mean?
Parents now these days in the days that we live in aren't that forceful. Just like Rez was saying, if he had a daughter, he would want her to come out, get the fuck out. What I'm speaking to when your parents is trying to check on like every little detail, making sure you size up your counterpart to like their standards to like them. You basically marrying the parents. That type of shit. That's why I mean generational. It's not like that now. I don't feel like with the parents of this generation.
I've heard people say shit like it don't matter. I'm always gonna be the mother. Like I run shit no matter.
Right.
I rarely heard that. You know what I'm saying? No, see what I'm saying? So it's like because of that mentality, they don't even like in their mind. I don't have boundaries. I can say and do whatever.
But that should be coming from years.
That should be,
That should be coming from years of nobody checking her ass though.
That's really where they come from.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Nobody like ever say like shut the hell up. Like you don't know what you're talking about 100% of the time. Like that.
But they be knowing it though.
Nigga,
they be knowing they don't know.
Nigga, that's the answer to all this shit.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Shut the fuck up.
And you know what else can't be lost? What cannot be lost is the fact that even if you're in a relationship or even especially in marriage, the both partners gotta understand that. I mean, you're married. You're not only just marrying your partner, but you're also marrying into a family. And if that family that's on the opposite end, if they don't bang with you, then there's going to be quarrels. You know what I'm saying? For you know what I'm saying? And that's just going to it's already a toxic environment. So do you think that like people are just supposed to do better?
Who do you think it'd be most on though? Like, do you think it like you as the husband or be them as the family? Like you the newcomer, of course you want to make shit copacetic. Obviously, they approach you with a brick wall at first. Like you're gonna be there with open arms, but at a certain time, like when is it too much?
I mean, I think it's first of all, you just naturally want it to be a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, it gets to a certain point. I mean, like too much is like the first time you say some shit.
Damn.
I mean, like the first time you come out of pocket on a relationship that I'm in with me and my woman, like, I did not. I want everything to go smooth, but at the same time, like you gotta relax because I don't owe you anything. I don't. What I discuss between me and my wife and the relationship that we have is what we have. And if you step outside of that, I gotta check you. You know what I'm saying?
What's fucked up is it's like it's not even a problem with that.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my god.
Yeah, but I feel like it's on them more than
just because you're the parent, I ain't no bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
being the one in the relationship, it's more on the parents than anybody. They gotta be the responsible ones to the more compassionate ones for real.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, yeah, that's really what it is. But do y'all think this is an issue more of that males deal with and with dealing with the other side, or do you think it's more something that like? Do you think like females may have more issues with the in-laws, or do you think males have more issues with the in-laws? Like, do you think
I
it,
think
it just happens? You know what I'm saying?
I think it always come down to mothers. I don't think it'll ever be fathers. Fathers just be too tired, like they got.
Yeah,
and
fathers
then they be
chilling. They do.
yeah.
It's the truth, though.
You treat my
Then the
daughter right
fathers,
now.
then the fathers be dealing with the mothers too. So like they just be tired. Like they
Yeah,
spent their energy
Yeah.
is spent.
that's really what that should be, though.
But also in turn, the father should be checking the mother.
Mm-hmm.
That's the root of all the shit, man. I'm trying
Yeah.
to tell you, man.
I don't think the shit is gender specific at all. I think the shit goes both ways. Like because like a father could be super overprotective of his daughter, and that could cause like hella problems between the potential husband and the potential wife because like he's being super overprotective of his daughter, and then at the same time like the conversations between that father and their daughter could cause some toxicity between like what the potential husband is supposed to be doing because it's based off of relationships or the ongoing conversation ongoing relationship that the father has with the daughter, and then vice versa, like the same way with like the mom and the mom and the son as well. So I think that shit is not gender specific at all, but I think that shit is a real.
I think
a real
they mothers.
These things do happen. They do happen.
We the mother. It be the mothers. Mothers be
No,
true.
it happens. I mean, what he's saying it happens sometimes. It does.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So like Pete touched on it earlier. Do you think this is like a generational thing? Like it's something passed down that I mean, obviously like some type of insecurity. You think it's like an insecurity passed down mother to daughter, daughter to mother, you know what I mean, that type of thing. Father to son, son to father, that type of thing.
I mean, yeah, I think of course, I think generational curses is it's like one of those things where it's like a bad habit that becomes normalized within your family to the point where nobody even realizes they doing the shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it has to become like somebody from that family like kind of steps outside the box and be like, hold on, like well, this is the reason why my family ain't been progressing over. So whatever amount of time it may have been. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you realize like, oh, this is a generational curse. But a lot of the times, the people that's actually, doing it don't even realize it. It's habitual. And then an example I use, I've seen a family where because the grandmother lived through the Great Depression, that mentality was getting passed on, to into the 2000s, and it's like y'all can take a shower, like what I'm saying. Y'all don't gotta, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like just little shit like that. You don't have to be so like, and it's like you understand, but it's like nobody's thinking like you. There's so much more resources out here now than it was back then. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like that's an example of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody else got any generational curses or just want to speak about the topic?
I mean, I agree with Lighthouse on that. I mean, that's just energy, bad energy being passed down from generation to generation until someone with the wherewithal or the knowledge to, like you said, take a step back and like realize, whoa,
I gotta break the mold.
This ain't it. You know what I'm saying? This is not it. And it, I mean, you gotta thank God for people like that, man, because where would we be without some sort of generational breaks at curse break? Like we sitting here having talking to each other like who we don't know at what point in time like those generational curses were broken for us to get to this point, So it's huge sacrifices being made. But yeah, I definitely believe in that.
You got to go through it to recognize it.
Right. Yeah, that's the truth right there. It's like you gotta like see be in the dark to see the light type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't have one without the other type shit.
That's some real shit.
And I do think it's real because I used to know this one dude. His name was Cedric, but like he always used to have the worst fucking luck. Like his whole like even his pops and shit. like it was weird, like almost pass that shit down. But I guess his pops used to be reckless, like back in his day or whatever. But I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just speaking to the energy being passed. I guess.
Yeah.
I think that shit's real though.
Yeah,
Karma
I
just
think
passed
it.
on too.
Hey, but P, like when you say it like that, like I believe in that, like in certain situations. But how many times do we know of like I don't want to get on like conspiracy shit yet, but I'm gonna hit y'all with the shit. But like it's like all these like mafia families or crime elite families, the Bushes and shit. They pass that shit generation, but they still
Oh, yeah.
they still thriving. So like that, like when does that shit kick in?
Well, I mean, that is their curse, man. They just like
Yeah,
it's a gift. That's their gift. It's a gift, just different, verbiage. Like
Okay.
generational curses don't always have to be bad. Just like how you're born into like that rich wealth. That's just like a generational. I don't want to say
Yeah,
it's a
that is a
curse.
curse. Yeah, that could be a
Yeah,
curse.
yeah.
yeah,
I,
yeah. Depending on how that money.
Selfishness and
Yeah,
greed
all that
and all
shit.
that shit. Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's a big one because like if you actually read some of these people's like books, like even wealthy people, like they say how much like turmoil they went through like in their life and like how it wasn't warranted and how they think that it was from generation to generation, like it was passed down to them from that
Hmm.
wealth. Like so it's a lot. I think it's a lot of energy tied to wealth and how you know what I'm saying, how you come into that wealth.
Right.
If it's a lot of what I'm saying, like backstabbing that you're doing to get wealthy, I do think that damn karma will
Oh
get right
yeah,
back
you're
at
right.
you, bro. So
Yo, the first
yeah,
thing I thought of when I saw this question, y'all seen that movie? Is a hide and seek where she like gets married to the dude and they play the game in the mansion.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Good
yeah,
movie.
yeah.
I thought
that was a
about
pretty good
that
movie.
shit. Yeah, I thought about that shit. I was like, you know what? That's like a generational curse because they were like under a
Hey, she looked
spell,
just like
whatever.
Margot Robbie.
She
Yeah.
did.
She
I
does,
thought
though.
she
That's
was
what
Yeah.
I was
Margot.
like, that's
Yeah.
not Harley Quinn. I was saying
Yeah,
that the whole
she's kind of
time.
hot.
I swear to God, I was saying that the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah.
But so now the funny thing about that though, Phil, is just think about how much money they had. You know what I'm saying? That was like a ritual. That was like a game. And we,
Yeah,
we talking about a movie, but see, reality, like not too
oh
far
yeah,
fetched from what
not at
happens
all.
in the
Especially with the
family. Yeah,
yeah, especially
shit
if it's not
crazy.
to not to the family standard. It's a sacrifice now.
Right.
I could definitely see that shit. Yeah, it made rich, wealthy motherfuckers out in the middle, wherever like that was crazy.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So I was gonna touch on generational curses. Is not even just like I think Remy said, you can have it within the house and you not even notice it or realize it, until somebody says it or until you get older yourself. But I think it's like spread through everything. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it could be it could be you playing the victim. You know what I'm saying? You saying
Hmm.
I'm a black man in this industry. I'm never gonna make it because
Yep.
everything's against me. That's a mentality. It could be, you know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to go to college. That's a mentality that I think we all broke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because all of us went to Bowie State. So like I think it spreads like throughout. It's not just like characteristic. It's almost like mentality. You
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
think
know what I'm
I
saying?
think
You're
that's
right.
why we got so many rappers out here. They trying to break that generational curse. No,
Nah, that's not even like a generational curse though. I mean, even speaking to like what Paul was saying, I'm the second person to ever even go to college in my whole
Right,
family and shit.
right.
That's what I mean.
I'm
Like,
the
yeah,
first.
just breaking
I'm
that
the first
whole
one.
mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same shit.
yeah, that's even. I was shocked at that, but it's like, yeah, it's generational. You kind of wake up and set that new standard. Create the new vibration for the next generation. Though.
create the new norm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever you want to. Yeah, whatever you
I
pursuing.
hate that phrase, bro.
the
I
new
heard
the
I
that
do
new
shit.
too. I,
norm.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
that
do too.
that
Because they
COVID,
use it for
that
You know
everything.
COVID.
you know what
Yeah,
else I hate? Build back better. You
So
been
I
hearing
haven't heard
that
that too
shit?
yeah,
often.
That shit dumb.
yep,
Build back
Build back
better.
better.
yeah, man. Hey, all right. So, like generational curses, do you think it expands more, just like not in your family, but like generation as a people, like us as a people? Do you think
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Because like to say Genesis, you know what I mean? They say we the cursed ones. allegedly, and we were sent to a land where we're gonna be in bondage for X amount of years and gonna come through it. So you think, as a people, we curse?
I wouldn't say that's a curse or what. I think that goes into like politics and fucking laws and shit that was made specifically for us to be fucked up.
But okay, so isn't that part of the curse?
Yeah, I feel like
I don't know, because that's
you saying it
man-made.
from a
That's
spiritual
man-made.
perspective, Randall. You talking about like spiritually? I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
But don't it seem like everybody's in on the curse? Like once you
What
like
you mean?
break it, like I mean, like
I get it.
it seemed like
What's your
everybody was in on the transatlantic slave trade and shit.
yeah, but
That
even
was the
after
whole
that,
global participation. So
I'm talking even after that, like the war on drugs and what I
yeah,
mean, how the financial gap between us and other people, like it don't seem like it's a curse like all the way around generationally. Even though we're coming up, but to break out those curses, it didn't feel like it was I don't know, engineered.
Yeah, it
I
has
get
to
what
be
you're saying.
engineered. I mean,
Engineered.
About to be lit.
it's just whatever shit. Yeah,
I mean,
I don't
That's
know. I
my
just
point.
feel like
I definitely agree. It's engineered. It's engineered. I
yeah,
wouldn't necessarily call it a curse, but it's definitely.
Yeah.
But like for it to
and
go on so long, and it gotta be like kind of like a curse, not in
it's
like
just different.
I get what you're saying though.
not like a
I just feel
spooky
like
way, but a design engineer way, and it has to be a reason for it to put somebody in, just to give them
Most definitely.
the short
Most
straw every single
definitely.
time.
Absolutely.
man, that shit's still happening in real time. Like
That's what
we
I'm
don't
saying.
even,
Yeah.
we don't even know the effects of the shit that we accepting right now. Like the shit to be like, oh, this is cool, this is good, and then 20, 30 years down the line, you be like, oh, so that policy the government passed that we thought was a good thing, because like
that's
isn't that
happening.
always what happens? Niggas be like, well, shit, the
Yeah.
policy of the Act of 1965, and then you look back and be like, oh shit, that shit was actually a setup. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see 20, 30 years from now, look back
And we need to do a
what they
segment.
said. You know,
We need to do a segment on all these fucking executive orders that was passed, because it was like 50 some.
There's
We
too
need to do
much.
a
You
segment.
talking about Biden? Just Biden's?
Yeah.
Just Biden's?
Hey,
This
look,
shit
100 days,
being
first 100
probably
days, right?
He's
God
been
damn.
working.
this shit being probably passed right up under our nose and we don't know it.
Yeah,
Like just like I know the whole Smith-Mundt Act, like it was legal to use propaganda in the media against the U.S. people. Yeah, I didn't know that shit 5-6 years ago until I looked it up. But yeah, anyway, that's some overtime talk. See you on overtime. But yeah, generational curses. Anybody else? Any thoughts on
Nah,
generational curses?
I just want to touch on the crack, like the crack. Like to Marcus' point, that shit's still affecting our generation to this day. And I think that was strategically implemented in in our community and a lot of the predominantly black neighborhoods too. So you got to understand too, like
Sentencing.
that shit. Yeah, that shit is like
nigga, put it like
that
this.
shit is almost like intentional. Like let's fuck them up so they won't be all right for 30 years.
I
The
just
same-
the crack
And the
game,
guns.
the crack game really evolved from crack music to trap music. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, and that shit's still influencing niggas, because you know what I'm saying.
glorified.
Like regardless, even if the crack ain't devastating us like it used to, the music and the glorification of that lifestyle is still being
It's actually worse.
happening to the
It's
mind.
in the mental.
Yeah, because now niggas is doing shit they don't have to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's more mainstream.
Back then it was an opportunity for niggas. You know what I'm saying? Even not defending it, but you know what I'm saying? But that was what that was. But like now it's like it's celebration. You know what I'm saying? It's like look what I did. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So
Right.
Yeah. And even if like you try to talk to niggas about this shit. Yeah, you can even try to talk to niggas about that shit, and like most people, like you don't even.
That's a curse in itself.
Right over
you know
what I'm saying? Like
that's a curse in itself. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and it's so funny, and it's not funny, but it's sad that like it's easy to like fool. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to fool a nigga, but it's way harder to convince that same nigga that he's actually being fooled. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like how does that happen? They
like
their program is just crazy. Like the way
program,
that
nigga. The
yeah, that
Matrix
shit is
beat.
crazy.
Matrix beat, nigga.
This shit crazy. Like, hold up.
Yeah, but
Still
even
winning.
speaking, what you say, Phil? What you say?
I said still winning. But go ahead.
Still winning. Yeah.
Yeah, the
I mean, and
Matrix.
even on the topic, we talking about generations and shit like that. Like, what time period? If you could choose any time period other than right now, like the 20s, 30s, the 1800s, the fucking I don't know any time period. You know what I'm saying? Like, where if you could choose any time, where would you go? Where would you want to live?
I'm gonna jump out there, but also I think you gotta preface this question with like what area you living in, because you can't be living in certain areas in certain time periods. Because
Yeah.
certain areas
Get
got a little
clapped
more.
up.
Yeah, you got a little more freedom. But I would say if it wasn't, I mean I love being born in the '80s and growing up in the '90s. Like that shit was the shit. Like y'all couldn't imagine the fun we had outside. Y'all know what outside feel like. Yeah, outside.
Rude ass niggas outside.
Yeah, we was
outside.
outside and like we was like the first ones like on video games and shit. But yeah, let me not get in all the nostalgia. But if I could choose another era, I think it would be like the '60s. Like they just first started dabble with weed and had like like soul music and
Hendrix out this joint.
yeah, right.
Soul music, bro.
Experiment
Yeah.
is like the people were like free, and then it was kind of like waking up as far as like the the mind tricks that was being played by powers that be. But yeah,
I feel you on that because I know exactly why, because mine's was 60s as well, and I feel as though because we would just blend right in. Like I would blend right in with them motherfuckers, like easy. It'd be too super easy for me to just blend in. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm
grow
saying?
my hair back out.
Exactly. And it was almost kind of because I kind of have like a no fucks given kind of attitude anyway.
Right.
And that's kind of what they was on, like anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Peace and love, like whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Depending where we grew up at though.
And that's true.
In the deep south.
60s is all right.
Yeah, I chose like I guess you would say like the 20s or the 30s, because for some strange odd reason I just always had these visions in my mind of myself living in that area during that era. I don't know fucking why, but I always like pictured myself living during that time. And also it was during the jazz era. You know what I'm saying? With like it was with Duke Ellington, like during that time period. Like I feel like that shit, and just just the music, like you were saying, like the soul music. But also like just the jazz and all that type of shit, like back when that was getting real popular. Like I would love to live like during that time era, mainly just because of the music, you know what I'm saying, and just it's crazy.
And like the local artists is like the popular artists, because you really
like
can't
like that Harlem Renaissance era, you know what I'm saying, like that time period, like that type of shit.
A good yak.
Yeah.
And that's some good hooch. That ain't no yak.
The prohibition,
Oh man.
What about you, P? That's your time period, the 20s.
Yeah, I mean, real talk, it was though. Yeah, I was born 27. But nah. I was gonna Harlem Renaissance and everything else like that. That was that era. In Denver they got this spot called Welton Street. That shit was like popping around them days. And like flourished in the like 40s, 50s, like all that. But I feel like I wanted to be in like that Made Man era. So that's like probably 1960s. Like, when economics and shit and Wall Street and all that started popping up like real heavy, like dressed up. I want to be like businessman type shit to live in that era. Yeah, stock exchange shit, whatever that was.
Yeah, that's dope.
That was like right after the
Depression. Dressed like that and shit. I don't know if y'all can see.
Yeah, I know that's the 20s and 30s. You talk about Marcus?
Yeah, like that type of shit.
Like everybody wore suits and overcoats and shit.
Right.
Like
the movie Dick Tracy and shit, like that type of shit. Like,
you had to get dressed all the way up to go to the store.
Right.
Go get a loaf of bread.
On sweats real quick.
Can I get a pack of Marlboro Lights?
Suspenders and shit.
Clean.
Grocery store.
So I was gonna say late 60s and 70s too, just because of the freedom aspect of it. Like, I feel like we were building our own culture and kind of, you know, separating from, you know, all of the stigmatism and all that, and just doing our own thing. You know, had the bushes, had the froze. Like I still got pictures when my father had like a 12-inch fro. Like that shirt was just amazing.
Wait a minute, but
Perfect circular.
you probably had to dodge some other bushes though back
Yeah,
then.
yeah. But
Wait a minute.
but yeah, so it comes, and that 60s and 70s still comes with a lot of, you know what I'm saying,
Wolf.
racism and shit that they had to deal with, probably that we don't have to deal with to this day to that extent. So to that point, you know, we would still have to be, you know, in that era of that shit like being controversial, and you know, is people still just realizing, hey, like, you know, the system is geared towards this. There is a such thing that is called racism that exists. Like I think people still, you know, were denying it then and denying it now. But if I want to go way back, so I'm gonna put a wrench in this joint. If I want to go way back, I would actually want to see how the pyramids were built and shit. So just throw me back to then, because I'm still like, I still want to know exactly what happened.
You don't even know what year.
I don't know what year. Just
I
throw
know.
me back then.
Just
Throw me
then.
back
The thing is,
then.
do
And you know what? And you know what? I know some of y'all know. But there was a time when people in the Bible were living 300 years, bro. 300,
Yeah.
350 years. So
Yeah.
just think about living like 3 or 4 centuries. Like think about all the knowledge and what's the shit that you know.
Yeah.
That's
Living
what I'm
that
saying.
But I just
fucking
let you know
long.
that we ain't living
That was
the,
like-
the natural way, because we can, you know what I'm saying? Because we can live longer.
Yeah,
They
that's
just probably
like-
living the
Right.
natural life.
Right.
Right.
Wow, that's like zero stress ever.
Right. You ain't
No,
even
no
thinking
traffic.
like,
Like,
you
nigga,
know what I'm
imagine
saying?
Yeah.
You ain't
no
thinking
traffic.
I'm
No stress.
in my mid-30s and shit.
You
Where's
probably
my-
not even. You
where's
probably
my
meditate
mule?
all day. I don't even know what you would do all day. You
No
What are you
probably
talking about? You'd have had to put them fucking blocks on your back and build that damn period.
No,
Yeah, you might want to come back as a pharaoh or something.
if I lived for 300, I'd be telling them not to do that shit though.
Nigga, build this
But the
pyramid.
thing is, that shit took like multiple lifetimes to build some of them joints. So it's like,
Allegedly.
what time period do you want to come in? Like, you want to go halfway through, the beginning, you know what I'm saying, at the end? Like, what time period?
Allegedly.
Yeah, but that's allegedly. We don't even know how they was. We don't know how they was built for real. So like, I would just want to see, you know.
Yeah, after that last OT episode, I don't believe shit. I'm
That's
so
OT
mad.
30.
Oh man.
No,
I mean,
but
that's a tough area to go back to though, guy. I mean, first it's hot, and I ain't trying to be no slave.
No
Just had to
AC.
sit out that joint.
I ain't trying to-
Right.
Brick.
I ain't trying to be no slave.
And they ain't got no dry fit. You wearing
Exactly.
like
Go back to that shit.
Look,
you wearing some loincloth, some sweaty ass loincloth
yeah, like
over
some,
your meat.
some
Oh,
authentic
man.
wool.
No deodorant.
work all day to get some shillings.
Everybody stink.
Everybody musty as shit. Smell like
Stink is probably the
That's a good
cologne
segue.
now.
That's a good segue for me, which is why I choose the future, nigga. I'm trying to go to the future.
okay.
Oh, all right.
The past is too hard for me, dog. The past is too hard.
What decade in the future? What decade? Like 20 years, 50 years? What you talking about?
2050?
I like to see at least another
2050?
at least 100 years. At least 100 years.
Nigga, you're wild.
Damn.
That's a big
It
jump.
might not be here, sir.
Right.
2300.
Be like,
At least 100.
Everybody gonna be on Mars.
By then we got to have like found the cure for every disease.
No, there's no point in finding no cure when no cure makes money.
Yeah, right now, nigga. But come
That's a
on,
good
100
point.
years from now, you never know. You know.
A cure
But-
don't make money, bro.
Yeah, allegedly.
A lot can happen in a
nigga,
century.
that's the problem.
Treatment makes money. Cure makes no
Money
money. The treatment
Cure
makes
makes-
money.
Well,
Cure makes no money,
the
nigga.
cure. The treatment is the cure. But
No, buddy.
but anyway, if
Have you seen
if
the
I
cure
did
for
have to go
wellness?
into the past, if I did have to
Exactly.
go into the past, I probably skip the 60s and go straight to the 70s. I go straight to the 70s.
Yeah, that's not a bad era too. Yeah.
Everybody was doing the blow. Everybody was doing the
Rick
blow.
James, baby.
Damn.
That's
Yeah, we had Studio 67, whatever it is.
54.
54.
All they were doing.
Everybody was doing the
67.
Studio 67.
One of them joints. Heinz 67. One of them joints.
Nigga said he want to go back to the 70s for
Studio
that.
54. You talking about Studio 54?
Hey, I'm not mad at you for it because like back then the blow's probably better than the shit. Like now you got all that fentanyl shit in it. Now it's like all
that
stepped
shit was
on.
probably
Yeah,
pure.
yeah.
That
Back then,
Good
yeah.
time.
That shit probably 80 to 90%.
Good
That's why
time.
all the cokeheads that was living back then are still living now.
Exactly.
You start
Did I tell you?
you start coke now, you gonna fucking die off one batch.
Yep.
You can't even chase it no more.
Yeah,
That's what
They
tell you.
got stories. Michael Jackson walking in. Everybody, Prince came into this town. Yeah.
right. Right.
Hey, music did.
And there's no
music did
cameras too.
change.
There's no cameras. There's no like exposing
Yeah,
people.
no,
and
Yeah,
shit.
that's
Right.
true.
You out
No
there with famous
TMZ.
folks.
Yeah,
Cool.
they just kicking it. Yeah, you right. You right.
Casually
You right.
doing the same thing. That's
And,
not fair.
and racism it's still not on its way out the door, but it was, you know what I'm saying, back then
We had some motherfuckers on TV, huh?
They was just trying to party. They was just
Yeah.
trying to party.
Yeah, they were partying.
shit was
Shit. The 70s, that's when
Let's
they
blow that shit up.
the 70s, that's when they started desegregating schools.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when they started
He said,
desegregating
yeah.
It was real.
That's when racism was at a high. Like I would have picked the 70s too, but I'm going with based off of the fashion and also the like them niggas used to like literally walk down the street with no shirts on and bell bottoms and like literally just be strolling and cruising like nothing was going on,
Right.
with chest out, chest hair out, and everything like that.
With suspenders on.
Suspenders on and everything. But then I also say like I think I feel like the black businesses and everything was like at a booming premium at that period of time too.
Yeah.
And it was also like the family structure because that was like right before truly right before like the crack epidemic and like actually like them locking away a lot of black males and like the family structure was like at it would seem like an all-time high of the families being in together. And then also like at that point in time, although we can go based off of like TV shows and movies where it was like 5 or 6 people in a house or 5 or 6 people in an apartment, but everybody was in the apartment. Yeah, exactly. Everybody was in the apartment making it, like regardless of what was going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was still always about family and it was always about we're gonna get around this one TV and we all gonna watch our one show, and even if like we're gonna eat dinner together, and like it was like the family environment was always that, whereas opposed to other periods where what we talk about now, what we talk about everybody got a TV in their room and
You want to carry that big ass TV though? You know,
hey, we still got one in my grandmother's house. The tube in the back, yeah.
Oh shit!
Remember the knobs, bro? That's why we the last real generation. Like,
Yeah.
we knew like. I remember like as a kid, they had like rotary phones and shit like that. Y'all remember that shit? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My grandma still got one.
Nigga, manual pencil sharpeners.
Yeah.
Motherfucking case corners. Some niggas don't even know about what a case corner is.
Them rabbit ears for the TV.
Right. Yeah.
Payphones. They still had payphones when we was kids.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Real talk.
Aluminum foil on the rabbit ears too.
And them knobs be like bloom, bloom, bloom.
Yep.
And you turn it
Click.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the right channel, dog. Make sure you get the right
Hey,
You only got 6. Shit.
right.
And don't forget the smacking on the side of the TV to make sure the picture came through.
That shit worked. That shit worked.
Hey, would
Every
any of
time.
you guys be interested in seeing like going back to the very beginning?
Yeah,
Like
that'd be dope.
Like the
I don't know,
very
nigga,
beginning.
you gotta, because remember, if we going back to the very beginning, that's
So,
like
like,
before
molecule
man,
shit?
you got a Jane Beast. And
You
shit
talking about like
that.
and
You gonna be fucking battling saber-toothed tigers and shit like that. Like,
I'm
Yo,
saying,
Damn.
I was just asking, just a thought, just to see where.
like
I
they,
mean,
they had to go through it, so we won. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they had to do that shit. Like,
As long as we can take these 2021 guns back there.
Oh, fuck that saber tooth.
And you probably more athletic than any of them motherfuckers ever will be, like just based off of where you are in evolution. So you be straight.
Hey, so like when you say that, right? Like obviously, like us being, living in this day of time, like we possess different skills that they did back then.
Yeah.
Like as a man, like what are like some skills? What's one skill? Like one, just choose one. What's one skill that you think you should have or would want to have?
You should be able to change a tire.
Oh boy, yes,
Oh,
sir.
that's easy. Yeah,
Not for
yeah,
hey, it's motherfuckers that don't know how to do that though.
yeah. You're right.
It is.
I'll be shocked. Yeah, I'll be
1,000%.
shocked. I'll be
Yeah.
shocked.
That shit out of luck without that roadside assistance.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
And it's sad though. That's sad though. Honestly, that is sad.
They be
That's
there
something I think
overnight.
every man should be able to do that. That's what I mean. That's easy work.
Yeah, the change of battery, like little simple shit.
Yeah,
Right. And guess what?
the dumb shit.
Like we was talking about earlier, as far as the family, that's something that most males, their father figure, or whether it be your dad or your uncle or whoever, so then you know what I'm saying, they show you that shit, and that's something, that's not happening a lot more now.
Shit, I had to learn on my
Hey, but
own.
hey, I will use that roadside assistance though if that shit, and it's free any fucking way. Shit, go ahead.
I pay for that shit. Yep.
Nah, that shit
Pay
takes
for
too
that
long.
shit. But if you know how to do it, you know how to do it.
I
But
know how to do it. That's what I'm saying. I know how to do this shit, but fuck it.
I pay for shit. If
if I got some shit to do, I will change that motherfucker.
It's part of
I was
part
about to say,
of part of my
I was about to say, if it's like 15 degrees outside, and you know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying,
Expect a phone call. Expect
you
a phone
like,
call.
okay, let me make this call.
Y'all remember when we changed that tire? Where was we going to the studio, Res, or some
Mhm.
shit? It was cold as fuck. That day was probably like 15. That was probably 15.
Yeah, that's not
Still,
a good feeling. I'll tell you
It's
that. 'Cause I
not, but
did
it's
it.
so
I did
rewarding when you know how to do that though. That's what you feel gangster after you do some shit like that.
Yeah.
I done changed so many goddamn tires, bro.
Man, me too. I changed one on New Year's. It should be crazy.
Right. That shit do feel rewarding though when you do that shit.
Yeah.
Don't. That should be a blower.
It do.
Hey,
That's the coldest.
Afterwards, not while you
You
do
see
it.
what I just did?
The
Yeah, you
coldest
gotta be
I've
with a
ever
female.
been. The
While you
coldest I've
doing it,
ever
you
been
like,
is
fuck.
changing a tire. Like, cause that shit, like you can't
Real
do it
talk.
with gloves on. You can't. You gotta you literally gotta touch metal, cold ass metal.
Gotta be out
And
here.
Hey, Rez, remember when we changed that damn tire on 495?
That's what you talking about. What you talking about?
That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cold as fuck. Windy.
That made no
Cars
sense.
going by.
That made no sense.
Risky out there.
It's funny because I had to change the tire like in that same spot, like solo, and a damn police officer pulled behind me. It was like, "Hey, hurry up!" I was like, "Nigga,
What
Hurry up.
the fuck?
nigga, help!"
that shit, man.
But if I was a white woman with some big ass titties, that nigga would have been changing that shit for me.
Of course, nigga. Of course.
I
I mean, most niggas would do the same shit though. I'm not saying they'll tell you to go,
Nope.
but if they see a
I'm gonna
woman
leave
with
that
some
bitch right
titties,
there.
they gonna definitely stop. They gonna definitely stop and try to
Hurry
help.
up.
Nah, I'm not.
I seen a time where it was like 2-3 girls, like some young, like college age girls, about 2-3 of them. Like niggas was just stopping car after car behind them, like they was
Fuck them.
competing to change the tires and shit like that. Like I'm like,
Watch how I do.
Like they needed it. They needed it.
I can see
You gonna
that.
get a fucking high five and
exactly. It don't even realize. It's like y'all niggas. See. Y'all niggas. See.
I mean, but that's why I said it's if you do it with a female, it's more rewarding because they don't know what the fuck's going on. They just know they're getting home, so they happy.
Hey, but I got one though.
What's your skill?
It's not no changing no shit or whatever the fuck. But I would say niggas should know how to. I think it's a skill to know how to put your ego aside and you know what I'm saying and just be able to get shit done or whatever. Be able to take criticisms and shit like that or whatever. But be able to put your ego aside at the end of the day to get to your goal.
I got.
So what you saying? You basically saying like know how to compartmentalize like your emotions, basically. You know, so that's basically what you're saying. Yeah.
I think that's a big one too, Corey. I think that's a big one, and
that is a good one.
That actually helps you in your relationship aspect of your life too.
Relationships, business,
yeah. Because separating certain things and putting your ego aside, that's big. But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
got
a
one.
lot of
I
that is
got a
rooted
big
in.
one.
I mean, a lot of that is rooted in just knowing that there's other things that's bigger than you. There's more important
Right.
than yourself. And then when you like come to that under, it's like your job is to be a service at the end of the fucking day. Like you got family. Like you got that's your job at the end of the day.
Right.
So you got to put
Yeah,
your personal shit to the side for the yeah. So yeah, I agree with that
yeah,
150%. And that's a skill you got to learn because you was a child at one point. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
So you got to
Right.
develop that
Yep.
because a child ain't thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with that 150%.
yep. Um, but it also differs to if you're single too, because you still out for yourself if you're single,
Yeah,
like so it's like it's an evolution, you know what I mean?
it is. It is.
Um, but I was gonna say one of the biggest things for me too is negotiation, right? And the reason why is because like just imagine your woman negotiating in a car dealership for you because you don't know what the fuck's going on or you ain't good at it.
Damn
Like that,
crazy.
I feel like that's a big aspect. You know what I'm saying? Because a woman, especially as your wife or whatever, like they looking towards you to be able to handle decisions and what I'm saying, be able to
Yeah,
negotiate, be that masculine, you know. Um,
Traditionally.
yeah, traditionally, and I'm just saying by default. I know there's probably some women that's really good, hella good at it, but for me, I feel like that's something that is ingrained
Yeah.
in what I do for my entire life, and not just cars. Like you know what I'm saying? It's almost like, bruh, like are you really gonna go through this life and like get gypped and duped over like every
Yep.
aspect of your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you're not able to talk to people and negotiate, then that's what you giving yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just
Real.
taking what everybody giving me, and I know I talk about this shit a lot too. But not even in this culture. By the way, I love the DMV. Fucking, best fucking time of my life. But if you go overseas, you'll understand even more because people negotiate for the price of fucking
for
bananas,
everything.
bro. Like
I agree
everything
with
is
that.
a haggle. Like you haggle for your fucking food.
Hey, bro. Not to cut you off, I agree with you because when I used to work at Giant when I was a kid, man. I mean, when I was like 20 or something, when I used to work at Giant, man, like all the Indian people and like the
Yeah.
Jamaicans, all the foreigners was always trying to like negotiate. It was like it's the truth. It's really the fucking truth at the grocery store. So yeah.
Yeah, that's just big, bro. It's like
Yeah.
The barter
every
system still
fucking
out here.
aspect of life.
Yeah. I think an important skill to have, and this is something that I'm trying to do more of, and I feel as though it lacks in a lot of people, and that's just simply the ability to just read. You know what I'm saying? Reading more in general is, I feel as though not only a skin. I'm not talking about reading what you see on the news or like scrolling through your Instagram. I'm talking about actually reading and comprehending what you're fucking reading. I don't care whether it's something that you're interested in or what have you, but just the ability to read more. I feel as though it not only stimulates your mental, but it also it puts you in a better position to not to articulate and to comprehend and to be amongst it, it makes you more aware of shit around you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like I'm aware, okay, this is how this group of people thinks, this is how this group, you know what I'm saying? You are aware and you're more present in society when you just read more. I don't give a fuck what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that one, Brian, because
Comprehend.
that's pretty much what I was going to say. And it's the same thing. I agree with Paul, because I think as a man, like I think one of the best skills you got to do, you got to up your knowledge. You have to expand your
Yeah,
wisdom, because dude, that's how you lead. You know what I'm saying? Like if you, especially if you're gonna have a family, you got a wife, like you got to have knowledge. You got to have something that you can teach her, something you can teach your kids, so they can trust your direction. You know what I'm saying? They gotta look at you like
Preach.
like he knows the answer. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And
right.
all that, a lot of that comes through, just you expanding your mind. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. And also, even a lot of times, especially as a man dealing in relationships and shit, like you gotta be smart. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna be getting crushed. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of be like damn near smarter than your girl. Like not saying it like in a but you gotta be able to deal with the shit. You gotta be able to move 2 times faster in order to keep shit stable. I guess you would say, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I agree for sure.
Yep.
I would just say hunting.
yeah.
Goodwill.
Like if some pop off, like how are you gonna feed yourself?
Doomsday prepping.
Better call roadside.
Yeah, Uber Eats.
That's the thing though. You can't find nobody to hunt for your ass. That's what's
Right.
gonna be that's gonna be a business.
Or even growing, hunting. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Gathering.
Yeah.
I say financial literacy and financial knowledge. So the ability to know how to spend your money, but also know how
That's true.
to make your money work for you. I mean, and not necessarily always even trying to get the most lavish things or what have you, but literally just knowing what's in your means and how to spend your money and making sure that you are able to keep your money to yourself and your family. And then the other one I would also say is the ability to de-escalate a situation. So sometimes it's literally just de-escalating a conflict with your potential spouse, or whether it's de-escalating a conflict.
Anybody.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Of course, there are times where you're gonna have to fight, and there are times where you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, be
Fuck some shit up.
But you
Respectfully.
Damn fool.
respectfully, but you can't
fuck your shit up.
But you can't always expect to, you know what I'm saying, go fuck some shit up and not necessarily know how to de-escalate some shit every once in a while.
Yeah, agree. I mean, the aim should be to de-esculate. Like, you fuck shit up.
Yeah, because
that's pretty much, you ain't got no other option.
Right.
You know,
because that shit come with assault charges. And
There's always going to be some negative consequence to fucking.
That's that ego. That's that
it
ego.
is necessary sometimes, though. It is.
That ego.
It is necessary sometimes.
Fucking somebody up it's called battery and assault and all that shit. Like, that shit is not cool.
That's that ego.
You know
It's not.
Did everybody go?
Yeah, I said hunting
so.
and
Everybody
Al said
I like
I
how
want to
everybody-
go hunting for real though. Like, I'm trying to go hunting, dog. Like, I kind of always wanted to do that, but I ain't know nobody that would be willing to do that shit. Like, I would really fucking do that shit. Like kill a wild boar or some shit like that, nigga.
Oh, I do that shit too. I definitely do that.
I would definitely kill a deer because I don't like them. I don't like deer.
But nigga, they like the most harmless animals though, dog. Like,
Nah, they're not though.
What do they do?
Something about deer
nigga,
scare me. I don't know.
They run. They like,
Something about deers.
nigga, their instinct is to run.
Marcus, remember we hit that deer one time in the work truck?
That's just a deer that just was running across the highway.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They just don't give a fuck out here.
No,
They just living willy-nilly and shit.
It's some with their sight, like their perception.
Nah,
shit is,
they
fucked up.
I don't know. They like
Hey,
they're probably like
their brain
Bambi
is
need
like small.
LASIK. Bambi
Yeah,
gotta get
they're
some
very
LASIK.
like they kind of like simple, and they're not smart at all, dog.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Just
think they
so
have a
like
small brain.
that's natural selection. So as a dumb animal, I should, I'm sorry, Peter, but I should take these motherfuckers out because they.
Pete ain't worried about no deer fur.
But people are more likely to fuck themselves up dodging the deer. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
In your car, you're supposed to like hit the joint head on. Like if you see a deer, you're supposed to hit it. Yeah, you're supposed to
go
hit it
right through that shit.
But people try to dodge it and fuck themselves up. But I'm saying we should, you know what I mean? Shoot some deer.
I'm done with y'all, yo.
Peter, like, you can have a fucking deer. Peter don't care about possums, deer.
Right, Peter.
Yeah, Peter only care about like
chinchillas,
dogs,
upscale animals, exotics,
they got
imports.
Right, they don't show up at Wingstop. They don't show up at Wingstop.
I'll see him fight for no raccoons. I heard about that.
Right,
Yeah,
it's not trendy.
You know what else they don't care about? Y'all top debut albums.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that, but
They don't care about that shit.
We'll take the segue.
We'll roll with it. So, what are some of y'all top best debut albums? And we're gonna get up out of here. Lightning round. Lightning round. Some of the best
Lightning
debut albums.
By
Yeah.
debut album, you mean like actual first, like
Like an artist come on the scene,
Yep.
their first album.
not
Oh, the
mixtape.
first album.
Oh, mixtape.
Nah, not mixtape. No.
Album, okay.
Their album. Because sometimes the mixtape builds up to the album. So
I'm gonna go.
Go ahead.
50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying.
I'm glad I had that because you ain't send me shit, nigga.
That's a
I
good
just
one.
had that shit in the chamber.
Hey, there you
I'm
go,
glad
Corey.
yeah.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, Simo, you 2 for 2 tonight.
Right.
This nigga on one.
I'm a
I
shooter.
do know.
I'm a shooter.
Oh my God.
I mean, we do gotta reflect on this. This is like a
That's a classic.
That's a
the,
classic.
the hype that came. This was a fucking like a runaway train. When this
Shit
shit came
shook the world though, for real. The hype behind that nigga 50 was like astronomical. Like you could feel, like nigga, we was in high school, but you could like feel it in the hallway and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that nigga was that like they G Unit like that whole time. Them niggas was on fire. So when
That album banged for at least 2 years. At least 2 years. That album banged for at least 2 years.
that shit went diamond, right?
Easy. Yeah, it went diamond.
That's a top 10 rap album, definitely. You know?
Yeah, like ever.
I would go with I would have to go with Lauryn Hill, Miseducation Lauryn Hill, just for the simple fact of the I mean, she changed. I don't want to say she changed the game, but she changed the way, like just being an artist. Like that was art. That whole album was just art,
Yeah, it was.
and she had already,
no
she had already been exactly. She had been seasoned.
Yeah.
She had been seasoned with being with the Fugees, and it was already like she was just like, all right, I'm going to take what I did with that, and I'm going to do my own thing. And it was just like,
yeah. And it was a lot of fellas that liked that album.
it was an art of work.
No, that shit was straight. That
That shit was crazy.
Exactly.
Diamond.
Yeah, she just
Diamond.
went diamond.
Diamond.
She just went diamond the last.
We got 2 diamonds. It's gonna be hard to keep up.
Yeah, I mean, god damn. And then my no, man, I'm gonna let everybody lightning round.
Somebody go ahead. Go say what you just say. Your shit.
My runner up was definitely College Dropout by Kanye.
I was
Oh, good one.
I fuck with
that changed the way I kind of like listen to music. Like it
Yeah,
was like
That's a good one.
like the way I kind of like interpret it. Like I was so used to like a certain rhythm or beat, and then like this change, and that was right around like when I first got the Fruity Loops and I first started making beats, and it's just like, all right, I'm, you know what I'm saying, I ain't know nothing about sampling, but here's this dude with this different type of way of just being an artist, and that shit was perfect for me.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
Yeah, that shit dropped perfect too. That was right around.
I was like, what?
Right before we went to college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like we related to that shit like heavy.
Yep.
I think that shit came out in like 11th grade or some shit, or 11th was it? No, it was senior year. It might have been 11th or 12th.
It was senior. Yeah, it was senior.
Through the Wire came out first. That's when like singles were like really.
That was
singles.
definitely 03. That was 04.
Yeah.
But you ain't gonna hear shit that sound like that on the radio no more though.
Nah, not at all.
Because the nigga was literally talking about like some traumatic shit. He went, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these songs is just some club party shit. That nigga, there was no like commercialism in the song. You know what I'm saying? It was like the nigga telling the story. Basically.
Hey, looking at his artwork, this shit was like ahead of its time, bro.
All the way, dog. All the way.
That picture frame, yeah, that shit. It's like a mirror.
All the way. Everything, even the
That
whole
shit look like a
mascot
mirror.
field, everything, the gym, all that.
And then the bleachers are like real fucking old and busted.
Yep.
Him and Common had that little era right there.
And the skits that was on that joint, because we had D-Ray Davis, he had Bernie Mac,
Yeah.
That was D-Ray.
What if that fucking album cover was a metaphor for a black man? It was a mirror of you looking at yourself and how the world sees you as a nigga sitting on the bench playing basketball.
As the mascot.
Oh man,
like that. Hey, but for real, all right. So my joint, I'm gonna go with Reasonable Doubt. I mean, to me, that's my favorite album of all time, and that's Jay-Z's first album. So you know, that's an obvious one for me. You know, as simple as that. Yeah. You know,
it was just so polished. So there's. You know, when people say no skips, there's not a skip on this album.
Yeah.
It just flowed.
And he knew it too. He knew it. Everybody else knew it. It's like, damn, as soon as you heard it, it's like, oh my God.
He got multiple albums like that though.
Nah, this one is no skips. Absolutely.
No skips.
All Jay-Z's albums is pretty much like You
No
know,
skips.
Rockefeller,
maybe
yo.
Yeah,
two or
they're
three.
pretty thorough.
Really,
Jimmy come on, you be like, yo,
if 2 or 3.
that whole album rock, yo.
Anybody got anything else?
Yeah, so I was gonna say Reasonable Doubt, but my second was Illmatic. So I'm gonna say
Glad I
I'm
had that.
gonna,
Thanks in the shit. So yeah,
I'm gonna fuck with Illmatic.
That's not a debut, but all right.
that is debut.
1994. That
That
is
is
his
a
debut.
debut.
Yeah, that's his first
Oh,
time.
you said okay, yeah, my fault. I thought you said Stillmatic. My bad.
-1.
You got it.
You can tell this nigga ain't looking at the screen because it's a damn picture.
Right,
of
it's the
Illmatic.
picture right there.
Oh my bad. my Wendy's is here. My Wendy's. My bad.
Yeah, 1994. So
Oh my God.
that was 2 years before Jay-Z's joint, and that shit was on fire. Like for that all 2 years leading up to Jay-Z shit, I feel like Jay-Z's one, the Reasonable Doubt, probably like took the heat off of the Illmatic.
You right though.
Most definitely.
All right, that's a great one. And Jay-Z still be on top of Nas to this day. Make
Yep.
sure he drops same time
Yep.
he drop. If Nas cop, he copping bigger. I'm like, dog, this
He got
nigga,
to.
he's
a
the
billionaire. He got
perfect.
to.
Yeah, he's the perfect example of that Soldier Boy quote. You flex on me once, I'ma flex on you forever.
Ever.
Fuck. He won't stop. Okay, so my debut album was Kid Cudi, Man on the Moon.
Woo!
That's a good one.
But
I
speak
think,
on it.
yeah. I just thought at that time that kind of showed me, not to say it wasn't like any creative entity, but this motherfucker went all the way left with his shit. Like I felt like I never really heard anybody like harmonize, sing type rap, and even
Don't do
like
that.
even like the stuff he would talk about though, even like his content.
Yeah.
And his beats, the way like it sounded.
Yeah, it's a
That was
different
like a
type
whole
of flow.
different,
Yeah.
whole different. Yeah, kind of like up. Some of it was upbeat, some of it was like a little depressing, but like motivational.
He kind
So
of created
that one
that.
always stuck with me. Yeah, that was
Harmonize.
always one of my favorites.
But you
That's
know
a
how
good
when
one.
you be slowing down the beats and shit, like that little slow, like he
Drop his
kind of
crew.
brought that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like a lot of his shit was like just beat. Like a lot of his stuff wasn't even. If you notice his music, he'll probably give you like a verse or two, but a lot of his stuff is like
He let the
percussion
it's like
and shit.
it's like he let
Yeah.
the tracks like a lot of his shit sound like soundtracks, and he just let the shit play out
Yeah.
like as a scene or some shit like that. But yeah,
That's why people like getting trippy with him. But yeah.
He kind of remind me of kind of like when I listened to Lupe Fiasco. Like when I first heard him, it was just like, whoa, like this is. I'm hearing a lot there.
Lupe's first album was fire.
Yeah,
dog.
it was. It was.
I think Lupe probably first 2 or 3 probably he did like all them shits was fire.
Yeah, I would say Reasonable Doubt, but like everybody, a couple people got it. So
We all expecting you to say Reasonable Doubt. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with he had a great build up, mixtape run, EP run, LP run, and it's our guy Nipsey Hussle, Victory Lap.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
was tough.
Wow.
That joint was tough.
Super solid, super underrated debut album, and it's
Great
all him.
production.
It's all him.
Yeah.
It's all muscle. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
All
You know
muscle,
what I
all
mean?
hustle.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even think of Nip the Great. And I wore that album out.
Yeah, when that
Hey, that joint, yeah, that shit
See,
rotates.
Even when it first dropped, I was on there. So like I used
The
to.
thing is, like, he comes from an era where mixtapes, coming from him, mixtapes, he took it seriously. He tried to make his mixtapes album quality. So when his album came out, it was just like a notch above his mixtapes. It's like, damn, like all this sound like came together, and he got like some of like the features, and he had CeeLo and Dream and Buddy and Kendrick, like all that
It was
shit.
a true album. It was an album.
The production was
As
crazy.
a nigga from the West Coast, it sounded West Coast, but it appealed to the masses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about that time period was when that shit dropped, he had like that momentum, like you could feel it, like you know what I'm saying, like how come we was talking about with 50 earlier. It wasn't like 50, but you can see that if Nipsey was probably alive today, like he probably be like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like
he came out with the racks in the middle right
after that. You say what?
He came out with racks in the middle right after that, and he was gonna keep going. He was gonna keep going.
Yep.
And this is around the same time too.
He was literally on the verge of becoming like one of those guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He was gonna be a superstar for real.
Yeah,
And
he
wasn't
was
even
already
like
when we seen that nigga
like humble though, like
yeah.
not even like camera whore superstar. You know what I mean?
That nigga
Like
at Howard Theater. Remember we seen him at Howard Theater and he came out with the All Get Right John, and he was like for real iced out. I was like, this nigga's a star for real.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I think we seen him every time he came to Howard Theater for real. Probably like 3 times.
Yeah. Anybody else got any more?
I think I might got a runner up. I'm not sure if it was a debut album or not, but was Kiss the Game a debut album?
Yeah, it was.
First one?
Yeah. Kiss Game 5 was the debut album.
That shit was fire.
Not bad.
Hey, well, here, let me throw a couple. 400 Degrees, Juvenile, the debut album. That shit.
Okay.
That shit was one. And then I'm going to go with the
I
Locks
got one too.
We Are the Streets, the Locks first album. That is another one.
DMX is Dark and Hell is Hot.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, damn. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely go ahead and just jump out there, and I'm gonna say that Food and Liquor jump, because y'all said a couple other jump, but that Food and Liquor jump was definitely a classic for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna definitely throw this. I don't know why. I'm surprised nobody said it, but I would definitely throw that Biggie out there. Ready to Die jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is a good
damn,
one.
yeah. Ooh,
How nobody say that?
We slipping.
Yeah. I think we passed that. We didn't think about it.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be a
that is a
shoe.
classic one though.
The storytelling, and everything amongst that like whole album.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, I got a topic I didn't really prepare for, but I want to talk about.
Let's do it.
I just want to throw Project Pat out there, but go ahead.
And Wu-Tang, enter the Wu-Tang. Enter the Wu-Tang.
Hey, this whole Nike debacle. What do y'all make of that? This whole Nike shit.
That motherfucker. That's why we couldn't get shit on sneakers.
Hey, real talk though, I'm mad about that. Like, that's why like
talk about it.
I just don't even understand how like this motherfucker was out here stunned with all that shit.
Yeah,
that's why he
like,
got caught.
holes. Yeah, storage units full of that shit. Like,
A
damn,
warehouse
boy.
full of shoes, dog.
Look at them, all them off-white jump.
Yeah,
that's
Where
crazy.
what he doing with them?
Hey, but look behind him though. Not only look at the off whites in the picture. Look at the inventory behind him.
He got a whole warehouse.
Warehouse shoes.
Listen, like how did the bitch think he wasn't acting like on his own? Like obviously people know about this shit, bro. People know about this shit, right? You know about this shit, right?
Look at this shit.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Bro,
He
look
has
at
a whole
that. That's
Nike outlet store, dog.
But what's the point though? What were you trying to do?
He was killing the market.
This is white supremacy at its finest.
And you know he knew he was doing something wrong because look how, although he's stupid as fuck for using his mom's card, look how smart he is for blocking his face out in all the pictures.
People know your fucking backyard, bro. And also, like, this not his house. This is his mother's house. Like, come on, bro. People know that shit. This shit is insane. I want to break
that shit.
And just trying to be stunned like that, like all that shit, yo. I'm like, nigga.
It just I don't like this lackadaisical
Attitude.
No, this Nike this Nike statement.
All they did was fire her. All they did was fire
her. No, she stepped down. They didn't fire her. She stepped down.
Yeah, before
they should have held her over some hot gold.
Wait. So how is it that he was able to get all of them goddamn shoes? Because last time I checked, like even like when he was trying to get like the PS5 or whatever, you can only put so much, like one in the cart. It's like
she was probably taking niggas to the warehouse.
His mom like ran sneakers app.
Yeah,
Say
he had all access, bro. Bro, he had 100. It's easily like 100 pair, just like the off-white joint. Probably 100 pair in that. Look at that shit.
He's running friends with the code, with the employee code discount.
There's no way.
He was
Like,
pissed
come
off.
on,
Yeah,
dog.
there's no way she was purchasing
It's
all of
easily
them with her
100 pair.
discount card. She got them shits straight from the warehouse, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
too.
and
That's too many.
But the
And-
worst part is
They said he got a card in her name though. They said he got a card.
that's
in her
the worst part. He used her discount, so he's getting at a
Exactly,
premium
with the
rate
discount.
and then flipping it.
Come
Hey,
on.
you
she
know how
probably got like 70%
for
off.
triple.
you know how-
There's some freeway Ricky Ross shit. Like his name's
Yeah.
getting cocaine from the connect, the direct
Pretty much
connect,
is.
and then selling this shit on the street.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
They
He's
said
sitting
that.
he's sitting on a
It's
couple
that
mil,
privilege.
Yeah.
8 mil.
But listen, my two things is the first thing is like if this shit were to happen like on stock market, like people would automatically like it would be
insider
considered insider
Yeah.
trading, and they would automatically go to jail. I.e., the football player was Michael Kendrick who went to jail for this shit. Why the fuck? Why the fuck?
Worry.
Why the fuck aren't
Yeah.
they going to jail automatically for this shit? This is insider trading. Like regardless, you have manipulated so many different platforms and so many
Hey, Al,
systems.
you're 100% right because as of right now, people trade shoes on certain platforms called StockX and shit like that. Yeah,
Exactly.
like
Yeah, but
That'd be fucking up the market too.
and just the fact that Nike put the information out there like step down means that she gonna be able to get a job somewhere else. It ain't like
Yep.
like they saved her reputation. The main reason why they didn't fire her and they put the word step down was to save her reputation so she can get another fucking job. So this shit, and to be honest with you, I mean, at the end of the day, for these niggas, at the moment, it seems as if like ain't shit about to happen to these niggas. But like they clear and remember the mother was working at Nike for what 30 years or some shit.
25.
25.
She
Yeah.
probably in with the family, like they got top
Yeah,
lawyers.
right.
So she probably good. She probably in with the family. And I've seen this before, like in businesses at a job I've had before in the past, where all right, well the owner was Jewish and like him and the GM went to the same church or whatever, or synagogue or whatever you call it. So the GM he found out was stealing from the company. So he on a hush hush fired the dude, but you know what I'm saying, and then like gave him some bread so he can hold his family down till he found a new job. So it's like even though he stole from him because they are the same community, he still held him down. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that crazy?
They got to redo the app now, man. Like
That's not about right.
somehow they got to redo that.
Yeah. They gotta.
I don't think shit like this get.
credit card.
I don't think this should even get to the app when you're at this point. Like, dude, this shit
Yeah.
really get to the app, bro.
No, they said he had bots too, though. They said he was using bots too. But I mean, if you, I mean, like literally, this is where my mind went. Like, if my mom knows everything about the ins and outs of the system that has been created, she might not have created the system, but if she knows all the ins and outs and all the inner workings of that system, she has to tell me. Like, because they said he spent 100. The reason he got caught, or one of the reasons he got caught, was he told the Bloomberg reporter that he spent 132,000 on one day on her card.
Gosh.
on her card, in which
And that's a discount.
In which he knew he was going to get at least a $20,000 profit that day. Like, and literally,
Wow.
so I mean, like that mean, and it was sold out by 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So that
You
means
need to go to
was
jail.
obviously
You need to go to
dying
jail.
for attention. He's
I was
obviously
those
dying
damn
for
Griffies,
attention.
and them
Good
shit
God.
sold
That's
out
another-
immediately. And that
He
shit-
needs to
That's
go to
another
jail.
thing too. This motherfucker got whole size runs in his fucking yard. He
size
got
run.
like three size runs of everything.
Like, nigga,
Like,
you
real
wear
talk, that
6'9"
shit ain't even
and a
right.
12? God damn.
Nigga, you got 7
them
to
all.
goddamn 13. All half sizes, everything in between. That don't make no sense.
Nike
That ain't
outlet.
right.
There's a Nike outlet.
Did y'all see the picture of him with all the Dior's?
That's what I'm
that's the
saying.
thing.
Like, what?
The Dior's.
But that's the thing, Al. Like, I'm convinced like there's more than one of these niggas because you seen all these motherfuckers be posting their shit online.
Yeah, I've seen some of these motherfuckers be on Instagram and they be stunting with their shit. You know what
I'm
saying?
like, how? And they be like little kids. So like it makes sense now.
And it's probably not going to be no recourse or whatever other than her stepping down. I'm pretty sure that we would have already heard it, but I'm pretty sure it was probably a deal where she had to step down. If she doesn't step down, they're gonna fire her and they're gonna prosecute some shit or whatever the fuck out this joint. So
The only other thing I say
Ain't gonna
is
be no recourse.
that nigga had hella connects because he also had the Yeezys and some other shoes in there too in
Yeah, I
his
saw that
repertoire
shit.
as well. But that shit's still fucked up. Man.
And you never know her, but because his mother was in such a high position, she probably knew niggas from other fucking companies.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, come on,
Of
man.
course, vendors, all that shit.
Kicks on fire.
All right. So speaking of sneakers and having the connects, your boys at the Flight Room Podcast got to connect, and we want to introduce y'all to a new
Fire.
yeah. We got like a little raffle going on, and I'm gonna let P take the floor, but enter the chance to win. You know what I'm
What you
saying?
got, P?
All right. We got a 50th episode coming up. We're doing a Simpson themed roundtable. We got a fresh pair of Krusty Burger ZX 10 Thou Wows.
Oh shit.
Viewing people. Fresh on ice right here in the box. Ain't been touched no nothing. We're gonna need y'all to go ahead and enter. Repost this clip. You'll be entered twice, or just repost and you'll be entered once. Shout us out.
If you get 50 likes, you twice.
Yeah, if you get 50 likes, you get entered twice. Just posting this one time, it'll be once. We also got a flyer coming out, other promo. Go ahead and just follow the trend, man.
Hold them shoes up. Hold them shoes up.
Here we go again. Got them on ice for you. And a fresh hoodie.
Yep, it come with both.
Yeah, so stay tuned. Like I said, you gotta cut. You still got a few weeks, but episode 50.
5
that's
weeks.
when we're gonna release everything. Yeah.
Enter
For now.
the raffle with your entry. Post this. You know what I mean? Flight Room Podcast.
Can I enter?
Yeah, you can enter. You should get 50 likes.
There's a rap.
50. That's it.
Yeah, that's light. 50 light.
Like shit. Okay.
Yeah. Big baby. You already know this is the Flight Room Podcast. Yeah. Hit our link tree, like, subscribe. We're on Facebook stream right now, we're on YouTube stream right now. You can drag your cursor in the bottom. I want to express that. Skip to the top if you like. We on iTunes. We are on Spotify. We're on whatever that Android piece of shit is. I don't know who has Androids nowadays, but yeah, no shade. But Alex,
hella shade.
Key got one too, I think.
Yeah,
I still love you though.
But we on all that shit. But yeah, it's Flight Room Podcast. See you on the flip.
Hey, drop a comment. Tell us if you fuck with us or not.
Or not yet. We're gonna show up. Yeah. It's the Flight Room Podcast, big baby. See you on overtime. Hit him, Corey.
Holla.